If original people as a people lined up behind one cause, it would scare the absolute shit out of the entire world and give us some leverage. Greetings, beautiful people. And when I say beautiful people, I mean original people. Brown skinned people is who I'm talking to, who I'm always talking to. And any of the other children that we have on the planet, I love you as well, but I'm really talking to the adults. I haven't posted on Universal Click in a long time because I had kind of given up on the whole idea of getting a conversation together between men and women, quote unquote black men and quote unquote black women. I don't really like the word black, but it's the easiest way to get my point across. But tonight, I was thinking about the Monique situation. Now, people have thrown a lot of shit Monique's way because, well, she didn't support Colin Kaepernick. You know, she hasn't come out before. This reminds me of a time when a young man was doing work with a group of people, and he was very good at finance, and he wanted to just go and work on that finance piece. And a female in the group kept saying, no, we need to get all of this together, and then you can go work on your finance. Now, I agree with that young man, because there are different factions of our group that need to be worked on. They need to be worked on simultaneously. We need to unify. That is just a given. Now back to Monique. Monique is talking about wage disparity, which also borders on racism and sexism. That she didn't support Colin Kaepernick or publicly support Colin Kaepernick or any other cause is not germane to her argument. We have to realize as a people that when somebody in our group stands up and has an issue, we need to have their back. I canceled my Netflix and got a fuck ton of shit for canceling my Netflix. But I felt like, you know what? Not only does wage disparity affect Monique, impact Monique, even though on a much higher level than it impacts me, but it still impacts me as well. Because on the dollar, I make about, 63 cents to every pale man's white dollar. That's what I make. That disparity is probably bigger for Monique because she has a bigger paycheck. So when someone stands up for an issue, wage disparity, we need to line up behind them. We may not agree with them, but we should support the people in our group who are doing things if they're doing something constructive that will actually have the potential to trickle down into other areas, into corporate America, into factories, to get everybody's wages at a fair level. That had her argument has the potential to affect every original woman, Aboriginal woman, I'll talk to this American woman who is working. It has that sort of power to impact all of us, along with our men. It has that type of power. Just like Colin Kaepernick taking the knee had and has the power to affect us all because he made a statement. And people stood up behind him. I don't watch football, but of course, the man I'm with, I gave him shit when he did because I said, you know what? You need to support this man. The message. You need to support it. One of my favorite sayings from a comedian, which is funny because Monique's a comedian, was Eddie Griffin. He said something like, you know, we're always after the messenger, you know, and killing the messengers. You know, you kill Malcolm, you kill Martin, Jesus, whoever else, not Jesus, Yeshua, whoever you believe in. But he said, did you get the message? Did you get the message? Monique's message is wage disparity. It affects her personally, and she came out and spoke. She's not the only one speaking. Wanda Sykes also has said something. Jada Pinkett Smith has also said something. The issue is relevant to our people. There are a bazillion, okay, we won't say a bazillion. There are many issues relevant to our people that need to be addressed. And for people to be heaping this fuck ton of bullshit on top of Monique because she took a stand really bothers me, because that's saying we as the people can't even say, you know what, Monique is right. She wasn't paid fairly and she needs to address this situation. Let's support her. Let the world see that we actually respect each other enough that we support each other. Because Monique didn't come out and say, you know what, I'm not making enough money. I need y'all to get off of Netflix because I'm just not making enough money. No, she presented her case. She even came back and further clarified it and talked about bankability as far as the profit of her last movie and the profit of Amy Schumer's last movie. She has done her homework and she has made a solid argument. And the question is, when are we going to stop looking at our people, at each other, at people who look like us, at people who look like our aunties and our grandmothers and our brothers and our sisters, and saying, you know what, she's all about herself and I'm just not going to deal with her. No, Monique is not just talking about Monique. Yeah, in the end, Monique is probably going to have more money in her pocket, but hell, she worked for it. She worked hard. She deserves it. But that issue has the potential to trickle down and impact a lot of people. A lot of people, not just Hollywood. Putting that issue out in the public has the potential to change lots of lives. And I guess if I was going to leave anybody who is listening with the message that I'm trying to convey here, it's this. If any of our people come out with an issue or an argument that is well thought out, not completely selfish, because it wasn't completely selfish. She's not talking about herself. That would actually help our group, because she's not only pointing out an issue, she's setting an example. She's paving the way to say, hey, I'm going to put my foot down and say no more and work towards getting what I'm worth, because she knows her worth. She knows her value. And she is providing not only an example, but the vocabulary for the next person to say, hey, I know my worth. I know my value. This is what it is. And I'm not taking any less than that, because we get screwed over as a people all the time. What she's doing is a good thing. She should be supported by people who look like her. She shouldn't be ridiculed, criticized, talked about. It just shouldn't even be that. We have to start supporting each other. We have to move towards unifying as a people. I have been in situations with, I'm going to use the word Caucasian for lack of a better word. I've been in situations with Caucasians where they were behaving very badly towards me. And the other Caucasians could see that they were behaving very badly towards me. And when the shit fell apart, every one of those Caucasians lined up behind the Caucasian that was behaving badly and turned their backs on me. We don't have any friends. Or let me rephrase that. We have very few friends in this world, but we do have each other. Instead of running away from our quote unquote blackness, because black is a frame of mind, it's an integral part of our culture. Instead of running away from that and trying to produce these hybrid Hispanic babies, hybrid Caucasian babies, produce beautiful brown babies with your own people. Build up your nation. Build up the original family to build up the original nation. But we're so busy trying to escape it because, yes, we've become the scapegoat. The only way around that is for us to love each other. For us to love each other, teach our children to love each other, to marry each other, to produce children, to educate those children, to build a solid family. and then use that solid family foundation, because a family is the foundation of a nation. Use that solid family foundation to build a solid nation in this country, because it has been done. It was done before anybody ever came from Siberia, anybody ever came from Europe, anybody ever came from anywhere. There was a solid foundation here of dark-skinned people. We were the first ones here. We built that solid foundation again after the enslavement. And even though it was torn down over and over again, we were banished. Now we got to deal with gentrification and eminent domain. We're stronger than that. We are, I don't even know the word. I know the word I want to use, but I don't want to use it right now. But we're stronger than that. We're more resilient than that. And we can do it again. But we can't do it by turning our backs on or ridiculing people who are taking a stand that we don't have the capacity to view that situation and see it for the potential that it has. Because Monique's stand has potential. I don't know if it has Colin Kaepernick potential. I don't know if it has Muhammad Ali potential when he didn't go into the military. I don't know if it has Malcolm X potential. Well, it probably doesn't have that because he really did a lot, or Martin Luther King. But it has potential to change things, not just for Monique. Even though you may view it as a selfish thing she's doing, no. It has more potential than just putting money in Monique's pocket. And I wish that everybody would begin to think critically and analyze these situations and see them for what they are instead of seeing the surface. Because I think a lot of people are looking at the surface here. So I'm going to stop talking and wrap this up because I've been talking for almost 12 minutes. We have to start supporting each other, loving each other, building a foundation, and building a nation. And it starts by supporting our people. Support Monique, or at least support what's right. If original people, as a people, lined up behind one cause, it would scare the absolute shit out of the entire world and give us some leverage.